refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Press conference today as we head towards this Saturday at the Resorts World Arena for Boxer, Crowning Glory, live on Sky Sports. I want to welcome back Savage Dan, the host of today's press conference, and now joining Savage Dan on stage, the CEO and head of Boxer, Ben Shalom. And now introducing the fighters that are joining us on stage and competing this Saturday. First, the two individuals going for the WBO European Super Lightweight Championship. First, the challenger from Birmingham, Casey Benjamin, and the defending champion from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Sean, the public nuisance, McComb. And now, the two men squaring off for the EU European title. First, from Wythenshawe, England, Macaulay McGowan. And from Rowley Regis, Tyler Denny. Up next are the light heavyweights. First, from Hamilton, Scotland, Jordan the Game Grant. And making his return from West Bromwich, England, the undefeated, the Olympic silver medalist, and the surgeon, Ben Whitaker. Our chief support on Saturday is a historic one, as we will crown the first ever British female welterweight champion. First, from Pensnet, England, Kirsty Bavo Babington. And introducing from Istradmanach, Wales, one of the most decorated amateurs in history, and the 2020 Olympic gold medalist, the undefeated Lauren Price, MBE. And now our main event in Birmingham this Saturday. First, the undefeated former Polish and IBF Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Champion, Pavel Stepien. And now, the man you have been waiting for to see return from Croydon, London, England, by way of Accra, Ghana, the undefeated, the Olympic bronze medalist, and the former British and WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Champion. And on top of the bill this Saturday night, Joshua Buatsi. Savage Dan, the floor is yours.
Big Mo, welcome everybody to Manchester. Saturday night, to Birmingham. That's gone. Welcome to Birmingham. Joshua Buatsi takes on Pavel Stepien at the World Arena Birmingham Saturday night. Big time boxing has been missed in Birmingham, not so much in Manchester. But it's back. Ben, talk to us about this bill.
Yeah, you can blame me for that one. Almost every show we do is in Manchester. No, it's great to be here, great to be in Birmingham. We've wanted to do this for a long time. Midlands boxing, you can see the talent coming through, and it's never really had that consistency, that major show coming back and forth, and the talent to headline shows here, I think, is a historical card in many respects, but also, yeah, some real superstars coming through Midlands boxing at the moment, and to be headlined by someone that we wanted for a long, long time. A lot of pressure on this man, one of the most talented fighters of his generation, Joshua Buatsi, to return in his debut for Boxer on Sky Sports. It's a special show, it really is, and delighted to be here in the first of many in Birmingham.
Pressure's on me now. So we have a lot of local heroes, we have Olympians, title fights. Not a bad way to return to the Midlands. Let's start with Casey Benjamin against Sean McComb. Sean, I'll come to you first. The public nuisance, I love the name, I really do. Have you come to Birmingham to make another scene?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be part of such a historic card. As Ben said, there's history here already with the British state defeat. And obviously a debut for Joshua as well. It's a pleasure to be on the show, and I'm not just here just to be part of it. I'm here to win. I'm here to defend my belt and put on a great performance.
Your WBO European titles on the line. What do you have to do to make sure that it goes back to Belfast with you?
Well, in the gym, myself, Pete Taylor, and my team around me have been working smarter. The talent's there, the work ethic is there, and the boxing IQ is there. We've been working smarter to put all that together, and that will show on Saturday night.
You are a slick boxer, you were a very, very good amateur as well. Are you expecting a chess match on Saturday night?
No, not at all. I think Casey will come out trying to be rough and tough and try and blow me away early. I'm expecting that type of fight, and I prepare for that type of fight. All being said, he's a great boxer as well. I watched snippets of him against Dalton Smith, and he actually has a good boxing IQ himself. So either way, I've had a great camp, and I prepare for it properly.
Where is this fight won and lost for you?
It's not lost, it's only won. That's all I can say.
Casey, you are the grandmaster. You do like to play chess. You are a boxer, puncher, but Sean said that he expects you to go and blast them out there. What do you think? What are you doing?
You know, I don't want to give away the game plan, but I believe I'm superior, more superior than him in every department, so I feel like however he comes to fight or box, I feel like I'll do him regardless of how he comes out.
Boxing at home in Birmingham in front of your fans, do you feel like that's going to give you the extra couple of percent needed?
100%, you know, it's my first time fighting on a big show in Birmingham, and I'm looking forward to it, putting on a dominant performance in front of my fans and winning my first bout, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Last time out, you were in a very competitive fight against Dalton Smith. You came up short, but you gave a very good account of yourself. What did you learn about yourself and about the level against Dalton Smith?
You know, Dalton's a good fighter, but I felt like it was a close fight, and yeah, it could have went either way, but him being the champion, yeah, he got the decision, but you know, I still hold my head up, and obviously I've watched back where I went wrong, and you know, I believe it was due to inactivity, but yeah, I'm looking to put on a dominant performance come Saturday night.
I think this will be the first time you would have weighed in under 10 stone 2 since Dalton Smith. Is it easier this time around? Do you feel like that made a difference?
I don't struggle with it because I have a good team around me, everyone knows what they're doing, so yeah, I'm always making weight comfortable. I was well inside on a check weight limit, so yeah man, I'm just looking forward to get ready now and lace up.
Sean said this fight is only won, but where do you see this fight won and lost?
You know, I don't believe that I lose to him, otherwise, you know, I wouldn't have took the fight, but yeah, I'm confident in my ability and I'm ready to fight all back, so yeah, I don't mind.
Ben, it's a very good fight to start the main card, WBO, European. What more can you want?
Yeah, I don't want to say it's one of those that either fighter can't lose, but it feels like that Sean McComb was on his way to sort of world level, and Casey Benjamin coming off a defeat that he took really without the rounds against Dalton Smith, who's considered one of the best in the country. So it's a massive fight, and I think one of the fights that could steal the show.
Another fight that could easily steal the show is Tyler Denny against McGowan. Macaulay, I'll come to you first. I think it's fair to say you've been in there with some top opposition. Not many people will ever say they've got to share the ring with Sergio Martinez. How was that experience?
Forget Sergio Martinez, man. I'm still going on about that fight. I got beaten, that was the end of it. I dwelled on it for like a year, telling everyone that I knew about Sergio Martinez, and I got annoyed. So yeah, forget that. Onto this one now.
You face another southpaw on Saturday night, and Tyler Denny. What does he bring to the table, and how do you beat him?
Tyler is a good fighter. He's at a good run of form. Like, look at the people he's beat. Nothing but respect. So that's brought out the best in me in training. I'm looking for a good fight. He's obviously going to try and hit me more than I hit him. So my game plan is to hit him more than he hits me. So yeah, it's going to be a good fight.
Good maths. Boxing's all about momentum. Since that fight, with you picked up 3 good wins and a very controversial draw. Do you feel like you've got good momentum going into this fight?
Yeah, I've just been consistent, stayed in the gym, got the little wins on the little shows and that, and then I got the opportunity last time out, and you know, it was a draw and it was what it was. But you know, I've got this opportunity now and you know, get the job done Saturday.
Tyler, I'll come to you next. Talking of momentum, you are on a hot streak. River Wilson, Bent, Brad Ray, Brad Pauls. How do you make sure that you continue that form on Saturday night?
I just keep doing my thing, man. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying my boxing, enjoying my life, and I'm going to enjoy Saturday night as well in front of a home crowd. Looking to put on a dominant performance.
How does it feel to box in front of your home fans on such a big show? You know, there's been times where you've had to be a little bit earlier on the build than maybe you would have liked. Looks like you're going to have a very good slot on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's going to be something new to be honest, because my last ones have been, it's probably been like 4 years or something since I've boxed local. So, but you know, a ring's a ring to me, whether there's 10,000 people or one person there. I'm looking to come and win and do the business and look good doing it as well.
With all your recent wins, you know, you'll admit that you've had to go to the well a couple of times in order to win them. They're grueling, they're tough. Is that one of your advantages, you think, being able to constantly dig in and find something?
Yeah, I'd say so, but you know, McCoy's probably, he's been to the well as well. So it's a good fight, he's a game fighter. I'm a game fighter and he's going to match up really well. And I can't see it not being a great fight. I hope it's a great fight. I'd take a boring fight as long as I would, but I think it's going to be fireworks.
Ben, it seems like it will be fireworks. Tyler's always in good fights. I think he's got the perfect dance partner here. Talk to us about that fight.
Yeah, it will be. I think, look, Tyler Denny deserves his opportunity, if anyone, to be fighting in his hometown, to now get the respect he deserves, to be the home fighter for so long. He's been the away fighter and had to just fight his way through to this position. And then for McGowan, who got robbed really out in Paris. We did expect that, and it happened, and it was devastating for him and Joe Gallagher, who worked so hard for that opportunity and won the fight, and then didn't get the win. It wasn't a good night in that sense, but that's why he deserves another opportunity. And yeah, delighted to put on this fight. I think both men deserve this chance, and yeah, it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Next up, we have Olympic star Ben Whitaker against Jordan Braun. Jordan, I'll come to you first. Last time out you fought Aaron McKenna on the shortest of short notice. This time you get a full camp. Does it feel better?
Yeah, no, definitely. It feels good to have had a full camp this time. Obviously, get myself fit, ready for the fight. I'm under no illusions. Listen, Ben Whitaker's an Olympian. It's a mountain to climb, but at the end of the day, anybody who's watched me knows I don't go over. So he's got a tough fight. He's got a tough night in his hands. Look, I'm here to do it for my family, my kids. That's why I take these fights. So it'll be sweeter when I beat them, and it'll change my life. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm fit. It's a different Jordan Grant. I'm down my own weight. So yeah, no, listen, I'm ready for a war. So let's go.
You'll have no doubt seen lots of Benzo. He's skillful.
Yep.
Do you feel like you have what's needed in order to get your hand raised?
Listen, if you're an Olympian and you're getting medals, you're right up there in the boxing world. As I say, I'm under no illusions. It's a tough task, but listen, I'm game, and listen, I've come fighting. I wouldn't have took it if I wasn't confident, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure Ben will say that no stone has been left unturned in camp, but deep down, do you feel like you're being slightly underestimated?
Yeah, just a bit. And I've got a wee bit to touch on. He said on Instagram post he was going to put me in a body bag, which I don't think is very respectful. I don't know your level, do you know what I mean? You don't say things like that, especially with somebody with a family and kids. So do you know what? No, I'm looking forward to it. It's a wee bit of needle in it for me, so it'll be good when I beat him.
How do you win? How do you take him off his game?
Well, listen, we'll just deal with our game plan. Don't give too much away.
Ben, good to have you back. Last time we saw you was on the AJ Usyk 2 undercard. Picked up a niggle, an injury. You've been out since, but how's the shoulder?
Firstly, which coming on looking to tell you I'm back. That one there. Yeah man, the surgeon's back. Saturday you'll see a performance. And and I didn't really get what he was saying, all that Scottish talk. I don't understand it, man. So we'll see Saturday.
Injury free?
Injury free, baby.
People are still drooling over the.
Hey, don't talk when I'm talking.
Carry on with that. People are still drooling over your debut in Bournemouth. This time you're back on relatively home soil. Wolves is just down the road. Does that add an extra edge to this, finally, after however long you get to box in front of your own fans?
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people want to see me live in the flesh. When I was on the Olympic team, was always flying around the world. I said, if they want to come out to Russia next week, they can, but sadly they couldn't, so this is the first time local people can see me perform, and I'm excited.
I don't want to call it flash, but when people look at Benzo, they see, well, there's a lot to see. They see music, they see fashion, an unapologetic attitude, all of which will come with a lot of pressure, but I feel like you relish it.
Yeah, sadly they call it flash because they can't do it, and Saturday you'll see more flash, more performances, and you'll see why I'm special.
Domestically, light heavyweight is probably the most fiercely competitive division in the country. You're still a novice pro, but how soon would you like to be mixing it with some of the big names?
Yeah, I know my potential. My coach knows my potential. Sugar and Joby, they know what I can do, and I've been showing it in the gym. But this game's about performing, having the right fights at the right time, and taking your time. So you'll see when the time's right.
Jordan stands in your way Saturday night. How much do you know about him, and what happens on Saturday night?
He's called the game. It's a good job I play my PlayStation. I'll just cancel him Saturday. Ben is obviously a future star. What is the roadmap? What is the plans for him past Saturday night?
Yeah, first off, fair play to Jordan Grant taking this fight. Went the distance with Aaron McKenna, which I think shows where Ben Whitaker's at. Jordan, experienced fighter. Look, for us, it's like having a new signing. Ben was a huge part of our plans. He's a central figure for Boxer and for Sky Sports, and so it feels special. It feels like a new signing. Bournemouth was one of the most ridiculous debuts I think we've ever seen in British boxing. I truly believe that he's a future box office star here, and he's itching to be headlining. Even now, he's in his third fight. He wants to be headlining these shows. He doesn't want to be on undercards. He knows where he's going, and yeah, excited to do it in Birmingham. I think he's going to be a huge star in the Midlands, and we need a huge star in the Midlands. And yeah, massive future.
Next, we have a historic fight. The first time that the British women's title will ever be fought for. Kirsty, I will come to you first. What does it mean? You know, you get to fight for a British title and it's never existed before.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's just another 10-round fight to me. I mean, I've trained hard for it, you know. I just want to make sure that I stay here and on this platform and get the win on Saturday.
You're up against a ridiculously highly decorated amateur, Olympian, won gold everywhere. But where there's a will, there's a way. You're always ambitious, you're always going to fight, trying to win them. How do you beat Lauren Price?
I mean, yeah, she's achieved a lot, but come on, I've achieved a lot as well. You know, from where I've come from, we've achieved a lot for BCB as well. So, you know, she's got to fight me. She's got to come in there on Saturday and fight me. She's fighting me for 10 rounds. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm going to give it out and get the win.
The one thing you do have over her is experience as a pro. Do you feel like that is going to make a difference on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, she ain't done the 10 rounds before. Obviously, she's fought all the girls that I've fought in a professional career. But yeah, I mean, she's going to be a schooled amateur. She's going to be good. She's going to be fast. But as I keep saying, like, I'm here to win, and this is my last chance at this. And I just want to get that win on Saturday, and I'll give everything I can.
You'll have watched her closely. Have you seen much that you can take advantage of?
I don't want to give too much away, you know, but we've been working on certain things, but I train 2-3 times a day with teaching and everything else, so I'm just going to carry on as I've always done, and that's it. Like, I don't want to keep changing things or whatever else, but, you know, on my last fight I didn't get the win, but, you know, I'm not going to run forward and start getting my head popped off. You know, like, well, she might think I'm going to do that, but it's just another fight. You know, I'm here to win, and that's it. Like, my mentality is, come May the 6th, this is me, and I'm going to bring that British title home to the kids at Beacon Academy, man. And you know, I just want to inspire them to become the best version of themselves.
Lauren, you've won pretty much everything there is to be won. On Saturday night, you get the chance to be the first woman to hold the British title. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's a very proud moment, you know, for myself and Kirsty to be the first two, you know, boxing for the British title. It's a beautiful looking belt as well, and it's great just to add more history to my name.
You have a knack already for creating history, and you seem like one of those people that can pick up absolutely anything and take it to a world level, whether it's football, taekwondo, boxing, it doesn't really matter. Do you go into the ring with that mentality that you were just the best in there?
Yeah, you know, obviously I live the life, you know, I'm in Sheffield all the time, and yeah, obviously whatever sport I've done previous or the past, I've always given 100% and come out on top. I've had a great camp, this camp, and I'm looking to just perform on Saturday, and I'm sure, I believe in myself and I'll come out victorious.
You're bedding into the pro game excellently. Do you feel like every camp is getting better, getting smoother, and you're growing into a pro rather than an amateur?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously it's going to take time because I was an amateur for so long, but each fight, you know, seeing little improvements, little step-ups, and obviously opponents as well. I've got a great team behind me with Rob McCracken and the GB coaches. There's people who I trust, who I work with every day. And yeah, like I said, obviously just keep learning, keep moving and climbing the ladder.
Saturday night you have Kirsty in your way. I'm guessing you'll know her pretty well by now. What kind of fight are you expecting?
Yeah, obviously I know she's game, she's tough, she's a pressure fighter, but like I said, I believe I'm a level above, and I believe obviously I box like the way I can box, and I'll come out victorious on Saturday.
Ben, another history-making moment for women's boxing on Saturday night. You're doing big things for women's boxing.
Yeah, it's huge. I think credit to the sport, credit to the board, credit to all the promoters that have invested in women's boxing. The first all-female night in October last year, and just so many milestones that women's boxing is achieving right now. But to actually have the depth and the amount of competition in the sport, in women's boxing, to even be putting on British titles, I think is incredible. And yeah, the whole sport, the board, but it's very, very fitting that Lauren Price, our most decorated amateur in history, really gets to be the one that fights for the first one, and Kirsty Babington in her own town as well deserves a lot of credit. She's going to bring absolutely everything to this, and that's where I think we're going to see the very best Lauren Price as well. It's a great fight, and it's a great title, and it's a great moment for British boxing.
He takes on Pavel STEPIEN. Pavel, welcome to the UK. I believe you've got a translator somewhere. This is the first time you'll have fought outside of Poland. How do you feel that you'll deal with the pressure?
Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie. Czuję się dobrze. Dziękuję, że mogę walczyć na tak dużej gali. Jest to dla mnie wielkie wyróżnienie i czekam na sobotnią noc.
Good afternoon, and thank you to Boxer and Sky Sports for having me on this big show. I feel very good and happy to be here, and this is the height of my career, and even more happy that I'm on the main event.
How much do you know of Joshua Buatsi? What do you see his strengths and weaknesses being going into this fight?
Oglądałem wiele walk Joshua Buatsiego, także jest to bardzo dobry bokser. Natomiast nie chciałbym tutaj się wypowiadać o jego dobrych czy złych stronach. Wszystko okaże się w sobotnią noc i cieszę się, że będę mógł z nim rywalizować w walce wieczorem.
Joshua Buatsi is a very good fighter. I have watched and studied his fights, and I am happy that I can step in the ring with him on Saturday night and test my skills.
Joshua, Saturday marks the beginning of the next phase of your career. But Pavel is unbeaten, he's stubborn, and he'll be dangerous. How do you ensure that things go smoothly on Saturday?
Firstly, thank you everyone for showing up. Good afternoon to all. Very humble to be on this card, man. There's great talent. The guys that came before us and all of us on this table. Very humble to be on this card, man. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. Most importantly, got Pavel, a good competitor. I think he asked me how do I think I'll handle him. I'm here to win. There's no other language, there's no other thinking process, there's no other thought. The aim is to win and to look good doing it.
You've been out the ring for 12 months. Some fighters don't believe in ring rust, some do. Do you think that the time out of the ring will change anything?
The results remains the same. Whether I had a year, 10 years, however time I had off, the result remains the same, the goal remains the same, so it's not in my thinking process.
You and Virgil would have no doubt had a look at Pavel and devised a game plan to beat him. What does he do well?
He's a good boxer, representing his country, which I must give credit to. Polish people are tough, you know, they're strong, they're competitive. Boxed a few of them in the amateurs. A strong nation, so I'm sure he'll be strong and tough.
Looking past Saturday night, without looking past Saturday night.
Hard to do that.
It's hard. But what would your ideal roadmap look like for the rest of 2023? There's no secret about it. You want world honours and you want them on your terms. In an ideal world, what would the future look like?
Have something tangible to show. All of us that went to the Olympic Games or even box as amateurs, when you come back from a tournament, you've got something tangible to show people to say, look, I won the fight, here it is. In the professional rankings, we won the belt. I want something tangible to say, guys, I kept on talking about boxing, being a world champion, here's the belt, take a picture of it. Take it to your friend, take a picture, bring it back to me. So the aim is to have something tangible in form of a world title to show people.
You're involved in one of the most thrilling light heavyweight divisions that there's been for some years here domestically. Is it important that everybody eventually fights each other? I know you've done your best and you've fought actually some of the main guys, but there are still others out there and still some questions to be answered.
Yeah, I think for me it's important that when we're in our 40s, I want to be able to say, do you know what, see that guy there, I fought him a few years ago, we had a good scrap. There's a good handful of us, so I think it's imperative we all mix it up. I think the public wants to see it, and like I said, I don't want to be 40 and saying, you know what, we should have fought this guy, that guy, didn't make it happen. We're all from the same country, let's make something of it.
It's always respectful with you, but do you have any final messages for Pavel or for the rest of the light heavyweight division?
It's the same. Everyone that's outside the ring, I'm going to be cool, calm, I'll speak nicely, but when the bell goes, it's a different look, and everything's on the line, everything's at stake. Smaller gloves, the lighter bright. The critics are here as well, everyone here supporting, the critics are here, so that all creates the atmosphere and you know, the intensity that I want.
Ben, you were over the moon when you signed Joshua. Yeah. I'm guessing it's get Saturday out of the way and then onwards and upwards and start looking at world honours.
I don't think you can look past Saturday. I think Powell's number 4 in the IBF for a reason. He's worked his way up, he's unbeaten fighter. It's going to be a tough night, and he's been preparing for a big fight for a lot longer than Joshua. We signed Josh 5-6 weeks ago and we promised to get him out as quickly as possible. Obviously, Powell was preparing for the Callum Smith fight. To be honest, just as a boxing fan, I'm excited to see Joshua Buatsi back in the ring. He's one of the most exciting, devastating fighters that we have in this country. I can feel the frustration from the lack of activity in the big nights, and we want to give it to him. And this is Saturday night is the first, hopefully, of many this year. We know the names to come. We know the world titles. We know the big domestic fights as well. But there's a lot of pressure on Joshua. 12 months out of the ring, it does affect fighters, and everyone's looking for a statement performance on Saturday. So. Get through Saturday, and then we know what's next. But Saturday is a very, very big night for Mr. Buatsi and for us as well.
Right, that is it from us in Birmingham at the presser. Tomorrow we have the weigh-in, and then it's on to fight night. Sky Sports Saturday night.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 17, winning their guilt wins. Right, the bouncer's guilt wins.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,